Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Shandaken Board of Appeals meeting and public hearings. And we're going to start off with the public hearings. The first public hearing will be Gail.
Gail and Brian Scanlon.
Scanlon, yes. Can you read the public notice, please?
Absolutely. All right. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing pursuant to Section 267-A of the state law and as prescribed by the District Schedule of Area and Bulk Regulations of the Shandaken Zoning Code for the purpose of hearing the following applicant. An application for area variance has been submitted by Brian and Gail Scanlon for a parcel located at 10 Garfield Road in Shandaken, New York, further identified as SBL number 13.12-1-65, said parcel consisting of .34 acres and being located in a residential 1.5-acre zoning district. The applicant is seeking a 24.6-foot variance in relief of the required front yard setback in order to construct a new house. The public hearing is scheduled for August 20th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at the Shandaken Town Hall, 7209 Route 28, Shandaken, New York. Anyone who wishes to make comment regarding the application may do so during the public hearing. If you are unable to attend, you can send any comments you would like read during the meeting to shandakenbldg@gmail.com or P.O. Box 134, Shandaken, New York 12480. All such comments must be received no later than August 20th, 2025 at 3 o'clock p.m.
Was there any comments from the public?
No emails, no letters of any kind.
You're representing?
Yeah, this is Jim Fish. Yeah, there are.
Okay, can you come up and go over the plans again briefly?
Of course. I know one of you wasn't here last time, right? So got to catch you up.
Yep.
My name is Jim Fish. I'm from Lodge Architecture in Kingston. I'm here representing Gail and Brian Scanlon, 10 Garfield Road. You heard the stats about the project. They have a house that's on the property currently, and they want to replace it in the same location where it is, basically. So they do have to seek a variance for the front yard because it is closer to the street than the zoning code allows. So that's why we're here. The house is currently still there, and we were just there, and they're planning on taking it down. It's time for it to go, and we have a new house planned for its location. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Any questions?
The house now is it 1 story?
Yes.
Or 1.5, as you call it?
What do we call it? One.
1.5?
1.5, yeah. Right.
I don't have any questions for you. Does any of the board members have anything to say or questions?
No, I don't.
I have a question. I wasn't here in the last meeting. I just have a couple of questions. One, I don't see you're showing the height of the building, the top of the building. Can you tell me what that is?
It's 35, I think, is the height limitation. We're under 35.
You're what?
Back. We're under 30. We're at like 33 at the back. There's
Okay.
a portion of it that is a portion of it toward the back anyway is where the grade is a little higher. We are cutting it back for a very small piece of the basement to be walkout, and so we took a grade a measurement from there. It was like 33, 34 feet. That was something we were very mindful of. That's why the roof pitch is so shallow at the back.
It's, the only reason I asked is because you have every other dimension on the drawing except for that, which is important to us. We want to make sure that it's under 35, right?
Yeah, I try to be
So
thorough.
I would suggest you put that on the drawings.
Of course.
In the future.
Okay.
But you're saying it's about 33, you think? Okay, all right. Second question is, are you putting this on the exact footprint of the existing building?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's something we did discuss. The existing house is on that setback line, but it is shaped as what did we call it, a T? And so
is that what we're seeing here, the
Yeah,
dashed?
so we're basically squaring it off.
I see.
So there will be a part of the new house that is a continuation of that front yard setback, but we're basically just filling in the corner.
Yeah,
It's like 5 feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
you're adding a little bit to the west,
Yes.
and then you're filling in the corners to the east.
That's correct.
Got it. Okay.
Are there any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Gary, you all right? I have nothing. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
So you have to wait until we open the meeting and then we rule on that.
Okay, yeah.
What's next? We have another public hearing?
What's the next one? The next one is... Tell Gary.
Another public hearing? John Pellegrini, Alan Gary. That I don't remember either.
What is he doing? Oh, this is the garage, I think.
What is it?
Yeah, it's just the garage.
Oh, over in,
Remember this one?
Chichester?
Remember this one?
In Chichester?
Yeah, and he wanted it.
Oh, no, Woodland Valley. Oh, that's... Hi, Grace.
Hey, Grace.
Grace,
We missed you.
Alan is shaking. It's like similar to the one because it's garage.
I see. So they're just asking for a height variance.
Okay, well,
Let's see, it's 16.4.
right.
Wait, I don't understand this. 16. Why does one of them say?
20 and a half.
One of them says 16, and yet this one says 16.4.
And this says
This
20
one
and a
says
half.
20 and a half.
No, this one says 20 and a half and 16.
Oh, so, okay, I guess the ground sloping. That's what it is. So at the lowest point of the grade, it's 20.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's buried too. It's-
Yeah.
Why did it? Why didn't it show anything?
Yeah, I know. Well, is there anything here for height? There's nothing for height. That's the problem. They need to have another line.
Did we talk about that? I thought we asked about that.
They need to have another line for height.
No,
Yes.
That's a different one?
yeah. This is Woodland Valley Road. This is, he's here, he's got to go through and come in this way. This house, and there's the proposed garage.
See, it's so buried, it's way back there.
Yeah, I know.
And so she's been in the, stayed there. Well, I think she came to City for a little while. 2008.
Nice to have 12 acres secluded somewhere.
I know. It'd be nice.
Except for the taxes.
I'd be buried right there. The family plot in the corner.
Kind of doesn't make sense to have a lot of land in a place where there's so much protected land.
Right, right. Like
We're
back
lucky.
there.
We're lucky,
Yeah,
I mean, because
that's true.
I think your backyard anyway.
That's true.
Why pay taxes on it?
That's right. That's true.
Is your project finished up there, the two-story house?
Garage is gonna start going up, right?
This is showing 16.
So the garage we're building on the same footprint, it collapsed. The tree came down and the slab lifted itself. And, yeah. What's her name? Building inspector, what's her name? Donna. And Grace, they agreed that if you build in the same footprint, it should be fine.
Exactly the same.
And we were on the lake.
You don't need anything, just make a building permit.
It was part of the permit already, the renovation of the garage, so we're just gonna show the new plans of the existing footprint, and the permit's still open.
Right.
How's everything going with you?
Yeah, good, busy. Yeah.
You playing?
Playing a little bit, yeah, we played a gig in Fleischman's at the print house.
No, but I've
Oh, you
heard,
gotta go, it's really nice.
that's cool.
And then we're playing up at the
In town? Or?
Union Grove, the distillery up there in Arkville.
Oh, in Arkville. Oh, that's cool. Pretty close. That's great. So you're keeping busy.
Yeah, just put a generator in at the diner, 60 kilowatt generator.
Why? What happened? It didn't have one before? You're kidding. So when the power goes out, it's done?
It's an expensive day.
Crazy. Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Your power went out, all of our power went out last week,
Yeah.
right? I don't have a generator yet.
I have a small one, which
6:45.
it's only neat.
Yeah.
I put it on some extension cords.
Oh, is that what you did? Maybe I should do that. Because
It was like $800.
Yeah, some of them are like $4,000.
I know, and you know,
Okay, we'd like to open up
round for 12
our
hours, maybe
second
24,
public hearing.
maybe.
For John P.
Helen Gelly.
That may be you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Can you read the
I
public
was gonna
notice?
say, you can sit for a moment, and then they'll call you back up. Thank you. Just a moment. All right. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing pursuant to Section 267-A of the state law and as prescribed by the district schedule of area and bulk regulations of the Shandaken zoning code for the purpose of hearing the following applicant. An application for area variance has been submitted by John
Helen Gelly.
for a parcel located at 1244 Woodland Valley Road in Shandaken, New York, further identified as SBL number 24.15-1-4.110, said parcel consisting of 12.8 acres and being located in a residential 3-acre zoning district. The applicant is seeking a 5.5-foot height variance in relief of the 15-foot height limitation for accessory structures in order to construct a detached garage that is 20.15 feet in height. The public hearing is scheduled for August 20th, 2025 at 6:45 p.m. at the Shandaken Town Hall, 7209 Route 28, Shandaken, New York. Anyone who wishes to make comment regarding the application may do so during the public hearing. If you are unable to attend, you can send any comments you would like read during the hearing to shandakenbldg@gmail.com or P.O. Box 134, Shandaken, New York 12480. All such comments must be received no later than August 20th, 2025 at 3 o'clock p.m.
Are there any written public comments
No, there is not.
or emails?
No emails, no correspondence.
John, can you come up and briefly tell us again about your project?
Yeah, it's a, like you said, it's a detached garage. I want to build within 100 feet of my house. I don't have any garage currently, so it's a place for me to store my vehicles and work on them and do other hobbies, woodworking, whatever else, things I want to do. So that's the general need for it. The land is fairly sloped, so this is one of the flat spots that I have, and I can't really build it much larger in terms of footprint. I want to have a little bit extra height because you might have seen the drawings. It's a shed roof, and if I have the extra height, I could have a lofted area where I'd be able to, have an office, like be able to do other things, like just have a little bit extra space, storage space, whatever I end up wanting to do there. That's the purpose of the request for variance.
The garage is going to have electricity,
Yes.
water?
I will probably I'll run water from my house to be able to have, a sink, something like that, potentially, but that's, yeah.
Any questions?
No,
Colin?
I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Questions?
I'm good.
Darren? I have no questions.
Okay.
If you want to wait at our regular meeting, we'll either agree or disagree with the variance.
Okay.
Let you know before the night's over.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing?
I second it. All in favor?
Aye. Was there a question?
No.
Yes, we're here for the variance application on St. Catherine's Road.
That's later.
It's almost 7 o'clock.
Right, 7 o'clock.
So closing this has nothing to do with...
No. The regular meeting has not been open.
I will clarify that the public hearing for that matter was closed last month. If the board wants to let you guys speak, they can, but they don't have to.
Thank you, Grace.
We have 10 minutes. Instead of other business, the town board passed a resolution last month creating alternate positions for the planning board and the ZBA. But I assume you guys will want to be involved in choosing that, so we could maybe schedule interviews for next month's meeting, and then you could make your recommendations to the board following that,
Okay,
if you want.
thank you.
If you know of anybody that's expressed interest in either board, we are looking for people for both.
Okay.
So they should send applications to Peter.
It's a tough find.
It's hard. It's been better these past few years. I'm happy to see it, but we need more.
Okay.
We're gonna entertain public comment. Are we gonna entertain public comment?
I guess he can. I don't think so.
Did you poll him on it? What's his feeling?
You good? Can't win them all.
Yeah, that's another issue. But I think their concerns were good. Their concerns were on a short-term basis. And it's gonna look like a regular house. It's a mother-daughter. And if they got 6 kids, they're all of age, and they all have cars, and they had 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms.
So their main concern was the short-term rental.
Yeah.
And, if he wants to rent it out for like permanent residence, he can't stop that. I don't see him here. I don't see him here.
That's a perpetual space. No, they have 18.
minutes go by slow.
I know. It's like, it's crazy. It's like when you want it to go fast,
Right.
as life flies by.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to call to order the zoning board of appeals meeting for the month of August. All rise for the pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a roll call vote?
All right. Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti.
Here.
Alan Bella.
Here.
Christian Lynch.
Here.
Henry Williams.
Here. Communications?
You've received communications from people regarding Mr. Papia's application, but I don't know if you want to deal with those when we get to that on the agenda. But outside of that, I'm unaware of any communication.
Old business. We have new applications, we have 3 of them, or 2 of them. The first being Charles.
No.
No, typically you guys do this old business then new, if you want, but your new business starts at Mr. Farkas.
Yeah. All right, we'll do old business. Old business would be
Mr. Scanlon.
Charles.
Scanlon.
Brian and Gail Scanlon.
Scanlon, okay.
Scanlon, Bill and Gillen.
Okay, can I get a motion on Gail and Brian Scanlon?
Motion to approve the variance for Gail and Brian Scanlon.
I second that.
as written.
All right. Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti,
Yes.
Alan Vella.
Yes.
Christian Lynch.
Yes.
Henry Williams.
Yes. Thank you, good luck.
John Pellegilli.
Next is John Heed. I just don't want to,
It's not that hard.
I don't want to trash your last name.
Obviously, they're not Italian.
Helen Gay.
Hi.
Okay.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve the plan.
The height variance on his garage?
I second that. I second that.
All right. Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti.
Yes.
Alan Vella.
Yes.
Christian Lynch.
Yes.
Henry Williams.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Good luck.
thank you.
Okay. And still under old business, we have Charles Papia. We
Mr.
did
Pop is
have,
not here, just so we know.
yeah, well, we did have a public hearing last month on this, and we held in abeyance our decision until this month to give us an opportunity to go look at the property and kind of ascertain all the comments that were made about that property. So, I mean, does the board have a problem with some of the residents to still come up and make verbal comments?
We did receive communications, right? Additional communications?
They're not lengthy. I'll be brief if I can.
Just one moment. Did we receive additional?
Yep, everyone has that
Right.
in their folder.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Which one? The
Maybe it's-
Declaration of
It
Covenants?
should be in your communications
It's in the
folder.
communication.
Declaration of Covenants?
Yep,
Communications.
should be the first one. Looks like this.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not even sure that's relevant.
The covenants, right?
Yeah. That was from the original developer who subdivided. And I don't know that he would have jurisdiction or precedence over town.
Nor us.
Would-
We don't
would
have
the-
jurisdiction either for that,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Would the board mind if the secretary read the new comments that come in at this point?
So you don't want to read this whole Declaration of Covenant.
Is there stuff in there that's not, no, that's the whole deed.
It's just the covenant.
Well, no, there's a
Let me
covenant, and then there's another letter.
Oh, there is?
that came
Let me see. Attached find the declaration of covenants and easements and restrictions on record for Charles Papia, lot number 2 in the subdivision, on file with the county, which shows that multifamily dwellings are not permitted on this lot. It also prohibits any business activity, which includes things like Airbnb and rentals. Thank you for your attention to this matter, a concerned resident. I will say that it is my office's policy, which I did speak with the town's attorney last week regarding, just to make sure I've been doing things right, that the town of Shandaken nor any of its board are responsible for upholding covenants or any deed restrictions. That's a matter between parcel owners. You guys have to, I'm assuming this is a matter of civil litigation, but it's not something that the town enforces.
So it's not applicable.
Was that addressed to me?
That was addressed to whomever wrote this letter.
If I may speak briefly?
Okay, we'll allow that.
My name is Robert Carlson. I'm the owner of the property immediately west. We have another owner of the property immediately east. The other two owners to the north were here the last time. All of us unite in objecting to the granting of a variance. The reasons for that are stated in the letters that I wrote, my wife wrote, and I believe the neighbor wrote also to the east. However, I was not certain, since my absence was last, in the July meeting, whether these letters were duplicated and put before the board and determined. I did know that a view of the site was going to occur, and I'm sure it did occur. My thought is this. We were offered 35 years ago the chance to buy Lot 2. The topography of Lot 2 is so steep that anyone with a family would have trouble with the children and the grandchildren, and even carelessly, when you get on in years. We passed on 2 and we bought 3. 2 remained vacant for quite a while. In fact, several years ago, I spoke with a contractor who was looking at the property, and we had a pleasant conversation. He said he was going to build, but then he saw the topography did not permit this to occur, and he passed on it, but he said he's going to sell it to a friend, and to Mr. Papia. Mr. Papia came to the property, and as I understand, without a forestry permit, denuded several acres of the property, mature trees, which we personally enjoyed as part of the one-family residence we've consistently had for 35 years. Everyone was surprised at what had happened. We then learned that a sign was put on Route 28 advertising this as a mother-daughter will build to suit. And it was a one-family. I guess there were no takers to that particular offering, but I understand from at the last meeting, Mr. Papia now says he's going to live there with his family members. Well, as a matter of fact, I don't think if they're blood relationships or relationships by marriage, there is a necessity of a variance for a two-family. It would be only if people without any consanguinity and without any marriage relationship took either apart. There are so many short-term rentals that are available in the area. We don't want to be blinded by another short-term rental. We've enjoyed this, and everyone that I've mentioned in the opening has expressed to me the same objections. He's not a user. He's a builder, a flipper, and goodbye. And that's all I would like you to know at this time. The rest of it is in my, I hope, legible report. And I would like to indulge you by seeing if you would like to talk to the owner on the east. He has specific knowledge that I don't have of many things. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'd like to apologize for not being here last month. I just had a hip replacement and I was in a bad place. But I did watch the recording, and there were a lot of things said that just were not true. There was no survey done of this property whatsoever. So they just came in, started clearing trees. I actually had to call the town of Shandaken and DEC to get a stop order on him because he was intruding into my property, right? I did get in touch with somebody that came and got me a rough property line and actually knew him and was aware of a house that he had built in Delaware County, that he built the house across 2 lots and then ended up having to subdivide. I don't know who builds a house across 2 lots. And there's no site plan. He showed a site plan with a house and setbacks, and I saw the drawings. He sent me the drawings, but none of it's based on fact. There's been no survey done. There's been no gradations done. There's been nothing done. I've talked to multiple excavators as well as builders, and I actually looked at the lot myself prior to buying 87 St. Catherine, and I had a builder up there as well as somebody that does excavation up here all the time, and he told me wrong. He said there's just, it's trouble all the way, rock. You're gonna have problems with septic, you're gonna have problems with well. He knows that mountain. He's done most of the houses up there and a lot of the excavation up there. He had prior knowledge. He thought he was getting a deal on this piece of property because nobody wanted it. There's a reason that it was never built on and it's last, right? The lot that the Carlson sold is a very nice lot, and people came and nobody had objections. They built a beautiful house, fits into the neighborhood, single-family house, it's lovely, it's wonderful. Complete opposite of what's going on in this little crevice. Now, has anybody had the opportunity to see the site?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
It's quite a mess, right? And, you know, and he says, I'm not gonna take any more trees down, but you see how many more trees are dying because of the grade that was changed? There's at least a dozen trees that I see are in different states of dying, because, as you know, if you change the soil level, it kills trees. And that's what's happened there. I mean, there's a reason that this is a 5-acre, single-family zoned area. It's what it can tolerate. He also made comments about, you know, there were 100 more building lots, and, you know, there could have been 100 more houses. Well, there's not. The building stopped because of the sensitivity of the area. That's a cliff right down to the Esopus. Anything we do, right down that hill, into the Esopus, and down it goes into Bel Air Lake, right? If you look at that lot, you're staring at Bel Air Lake, and that's where everything's going from there. I truly believe the first time I talked to him and he was up there, he said absolutely short-term rental. In fact, he was trying to get me to buy the thing, right? Oh, you get 2 rents, we're gonna build it as a mother-daughter and tell everybody it's a mother-daughter. In reality, it'll be a 2-family. You can rent the first floor, do long-term rentals on the second floor. You know, again, he's in High Mountain, he's living in High Mountain. I don't want to talk bad about him, but dig into the short-term rental house that he built there. You know, from my understanding, even from the excavator, you know, the driveway was too steep, there were insurance issues on the short-term rental. It was just a train wreck. Even look at the driveway he tried to cut in that thing. No permit going into the town road, just haphazardly did it. And then he made comments about my barn. When I built my garage, before I took a tree down, before I did anything, I had aerial, I had site plans, I had renderings. I came down to town hall, I sat down, they looked at everything. I had the trees marked exactly the boundaries of what I was gonna take down. We knew exactly how much soil was gonna be moved. You know, no surprise. I let my neighbors aware of what I was up to, what I was doing, to make sure they were good with things. And in reality is I built that barn, and since then I've planted probably between 50 and 75 fir trees on the property and continue to repopulate the property with more trees. You know, which is the complete opposite of what we're seeing down the street. So, you know, this is upsetting to see this happening to such a beautiful, pristine area. I don't think anything good is going to come from this. You know, it's not going to be as advertised. And I thank you for your time, and I appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for coming in.
I have just one thing I'd like to show the board in case you haven't seen it. These are the drawings of what's proposed. Has everyone seen these already? Yes? You haven't seen this? I would like
I
to
haven't
know,
seen it.
even though it's a 5-acre plot, most of the land is narrow and it's down the hill. That's where the 5 acres are. The road front is very narrow. So when he's proposing to put something like this, please take a look at this carefully. And imagine if you've seen the property, what this is going to look like.
I don't understand the fire access
Urbanization.
from that first floor. I don't see how you put a family on that first floor. It's a dungeon built into the slope of the, it's like my basement. It'd be like putting a family in my basement.
Why is it 3,000 feet? This he's saying it's a little smaller.
Did he say he had approved septic? Well, certainly Shandaken didn't approve it.
Well,
We
that's,
don't approve septic, the county approved the septic.
here, look, he says 2,500 square feet.
Top of my head, yes, I've seen the permit, but I'd have to check.
Thank you.
For a two-family house, or is it for a 3-bedroom?
Grace, Olivia, do we have drawings on file for this project?
No, we don't.
No, not yet.
No files?
There's a
So this is
drawing here.
3,000 square feet, and he's saying 2,500 here in this application.
This is what he's putting out. I thought you'd like to see what he's proposing for real estate people.
That doesn't mean that that's the actual. That's not the official.
Well, we don't know that, right? But that's not our jurisdiction anyway.
We can't litigate.
Right.
His name's on that, that's what he.
Yeah, I know.
No, I know.
That's not something we rule out.
We're here only to rule on a variance, and it's a density variance. For a 2-family house, he needs 8 acres, and he only has 5.
That's
And
why we're asking you to turn that down. We are, sincerely. All of the neighbors are very upset. I had lot 4, we sold it to a very nice fellow, we've never had a problem. And now this guy comes around.
well, You know, in reality, the house, when it's built, is gonna look just like a one-family house. That you have to agree on.
Well, we don't know
Secondly,
that now. How would,
Just secondly, though, if somebody bought that property and had 6 children and they were all of age, and it wasn't gonna be a mother-daughter, it was gonna be just a regular house, and they had 4 or 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and each kid had a car, it would be basically more of an impact on the land.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
This
so,
is terrible.
no, I know.
We don't want this on our land. We don't
Yes.
want this,
Yeah.
yeah. And septic
And we
system,
understand that.
washing machine, bathroom, right down to Bel Air Lake. And this is why the property
that's-
on the right has been saved for, yeah.
Most of that, with the septic system, is all county of Ulster, and the other part of that all is with the building department, zoning and building. We're here to just litigate the piece of code, which is density. You cannot have enough acreage to build a 2-family
I
house.
said it.
And
Just
in our
not
code, we
enough
don't have
acres.
anything that defines a mother-daughter home, and that's one of the things that we've got to look at too. But it seems to me that in the beginning, most of your concerns were with him stripping the land, not being a good neighbor, and
And he's not
maybe,
gonna live in this place.
and if he
He's
wasn't
a
gonna
spot
live in
builder.
the,
He's a spot builder.
on the property, that he would rent it as a short-term rental. We can address those issues in a variance.
Right,
So I just want you to know that.
okay. Well, you've got the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, what's your pleasure?
what else?
I think we can get a motion with a restricted.
I think we restrict the short term.
Restricted covenant.
Conditional variance. No short term.
Yeah, well, that would be a restricted covenant in the variance. All right? What do you think?
What do you think?
Restricted to no.
It sounds like everybody is short term.
No, it would be in the variance that he cannot rent on a short-term rental basis. Can I get a motion on this variance to say that we'll grant the variance for his home, a mother-daughter, with a restricted covenant in the variance that says he can not rent to short-term rentals or Airbnb? Grace, what is it? How
Conditional
does that say?
upon no transient occupancy.
Yeah, okay, no transient occupancy in the variance. Can I get a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to grant the variance with the conditional, what was that, Grace?
Conditional upon no transient occupancy.
Conditional upon no transient occupancy for this property.
Please note for the record the unanimous objection of all of the surrounding neighborhood. Thank you.
Can I get a second on that motion?
Second the motion.
As a mother-daughter, not a two-family? I'm
So
very
it's,
confused.
it'll be written as, should it be approved, if not, the permit would be written as a 2-family, which is the allowable use by right. The use isn't what the variance is for, it's the acreage.
But if we're in 5-acre zoning, how could you allow somebody to build a two-family house on 5 acres if the zoning is 8 acres? So why can't I do the same thing? Can I turn my house into a two-family now?
Yes, you can with a variance, yes.
Why are we granting a variance when it's against what everyone else wants?
Well-
And it's not supposed to be that way.
In reality, he can build exactly what he wants with 2 apartments in it if he didn't put a kitchen downstairs.
Well, he can do this, but he can do it under the concept of a one-family structure. because of the fact that the entire subdivision 35 years ago, on which we relied, and over the years have paid close to $250,000 in real estate taxes and enjoyed, were premised on the fact that it was a one-family secluded strip of beautiful property. And we can see the encroachment and the actions of the man to begin with without prior approvals in stripping the trees and putting a sign on the public highway, and now coming back in this way. Once that deed is flipped, you'll never see him again.
No.
And we'll be left with the headache on that road.
And Pandora's box is open, because that means anybody can put a
Yes.
two-family or convert their house to a two-family.
Yeah, anybody can.
I don't get it. I just don't understand how you could allow a two-family house to be placed in one-family zoning. I mean, the first thing we all need to do is we all need to go and have our houses reassessed, because the value of our houses are gonna go down. Because now we're not in a single-family zoning anymore, now we're in two-family zoning. I mean, that's basically the message we're getting.
Urbanization.
True of any property in a two-family home is a permitted use by right, it's not even a special use permit.
No, it's just.
On
Anywhere in
Basically.
Shandaken.
On 8 acres, not 5 acres.
Depending on the
single-family
zone.
Well, that's why the variance.
I mean, if they wanted two-family houses, they would have subdivided it at 8 acres, not 5 acres. I mean, all the lots are between 5 and 6, single-family homes. Now we're gonna allow a high-density house on a single-family lot. I don't get it, I don't understand it.
That was an important.
I don't, I disagree with what you just said, that a high-density house.
I understand, you can have more kids and everything, but it's one family. There's no doubt about it, this thing somehow, some way, he's gonna figure out how to make this thing a short-term rental. He came to me, told me that was his intent, and it's not the first short-term rental he's built, right?
Right.
So that's exactly what this is
Well,
gonna
that's-
become, a short-term rental. We had a short-term rental, I actually had people going down my driveway, I had somebody beating on my door trying to get in the middle of the night, right? And now we're gonna put one that has 2 units on the street, so they gotta just get off one driveway too soon, and it's gonna happen. I have the do not, trespass signs, doesn't matter, right down the driveway they go in their lovely Teslas. And that's where this thing is going, not even maybe.
Without any long-term investment in the property, the weekend, I'm here, gone, garbage on the road, goodbye.
Yeah, I know, but that's why we put the restriction in the
How do you
variance.
enforce that?
Listen.
How many people are renting without knowledge of the township is crazy? I can tell you there's 3, I know on Rose Mountain Road, that people rent a house, and they have no permits, they have nothing, they just do it. And this is not gonna be any different.
Well, he could do that with a single-family house too, if he builds one, right?
Yes, he can.
Good for him then, he should build a single-family house and do a short-term rental, not have 2 units on a single piece of property, and that's what we're doing. As soon as we say mother-daughter, it's 2 kitchens, 2 everything, it's completely separate living space. So basically, you're getting 2 rentals for the price of 1.
Well, we've already had the public hearing on this. We've
Okay.
given you another opportunity to speak to us, and we're just gonna have to move on here. We made a motion, and it was seconded, and I think we're gonna have to vote on it.
Last weekend, they were ill. My husband was ill, he was also
Yeah.
recuperating from hip surgery. They didn't get their opportunity, that's why they're here tonight.
And they've been given the opportunity to speak.
I feel we've had the opportunity to say everything in fact that we wanted to say. I thank you for that. I disagree with the decision, but we all said the Pledge of Allegiance. And we
Well-
live in the same country.
Well, because of you and your opposition and all your comments and reviews about what he's gonna do is the reason that we agreed on the variance with the restriction in it.
No rentals.
No rentals, no short-term
Not gonna
rentals.
happen.
Well, if it does.
Short-term rentals or no
our remedy-
rentals?
And if it
Short-term.
does, our
Short-term.
remedy will be to return and to claim a violation, or does that require the expense of a legal proceeding with the filing and the lawyer, et cetera? What say you?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No.
So long-term rentals are permitted?
If in fact there's a violation that we can document,
Mhm.
what is our remedy then? Are we relegated to an expensive proceeding in the courts or back here, can that be lifted and removed because of the violation of the owner who sought the variance in the first place?
The condition of their approval, the enforcement of the condition of their approval falls on my shoulders. This is a condition that I can enforce. So while I can't enforce your deed restrictions, I can enforce restrictions enforced by this board.
You've answered my question, and I understand. Don't retire.
I'll try not.
Don't do the long-term rentals either, right? So you can't rent it as a two-family house and put two families in this thing. It's a mother-daughter, it's one family. Yes?
Nothing in code
No,
would
it's-
say you couldn't do
You
that.
can't, yeah.
So it's a rental.
It could
So
be.
you're allowing a rental, so I can have a rental too then.
We are allowing a
Yes.
rental, yes.
So you're allowing half the property to be rented and the other half to be occupied. So that's crazy. It's a single-family neighborhood.
Are you by any stretch allowing two rentals simultaneously, neither of whom have an interest in the deed?
We can't enforce that. We're not allowing anything. We're just allowing him to build a mother-daughter or a two-family house based on the variance requested, which was a density variance for the size of the property, with a restriction in it. And the only reason the restriction is in it is based on all the comments that the neighbors have made and what your concerns were.
So basically, we're gonna have two apartment buildings in a single-family neighborhood. That's where we're going with this.
Thank you for your time,
I think we
gentlemen.
need lawyers.
This doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense.
Roll call vote?
Doesn't make sense.
Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti,
Yes.
Alan Vella.
Yes.
Christian Lynch.
Yes.
Henry Williams.
Yes.
Doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Isn't this unbelievable?
basically gonna put an apartment building in a single-family
I know.
neighborhood. That's what-
I know, this doesn't make sense.
Next one is, Mizuno. It's the, it's the 214.
We have a request for a variance from, on Route 214 from,
Mizuno.
Mr. Fisher is here to represent for Mimi.
We call it meeting.
Good.
Mizuno Aberano, right?
Yeah.
Mizuno Aberano.
okay. Could you come up and explain the variance and exactly what you want to do?
I can try.
I hope.
I'm the next door neighbor, so she has a single-family house. Her variance is because she needs a certain size acreage in order to do a two-family. Her son's going to college, so she's there by herself. I think she has a little better than a half an acre, so she's requesting a .52 variance. Is that how you read the application? Okay.
Yeah.
That's across from the Phoenician and the
Correct.
church there.
Yes, the first house will be the one by the with the big barn.
She wants to, one of the bedrooms, she wants to convert into a kitchen.
Correct. The bedroom size will not change, so the septic, I don't know, I mean, it's not my call, but I don't think that would be an issue. But- And she has municipal water, so. So, yeah, technically, one of the bedrooms will be a kitchen. There's already a bathroom
So
upstairs.
she's going to make part of the house an apartment.
Correct, the upstairs.
Anybody have any questions?
Is it a separate entrance or is it one entrance?
There is now a separate entrance.
It's going to be a one-bedroom apartment, do we know?
I think it's a two.
I think there's a layout.
There-
in there. She gave me,
She said she made copies.
There's a layout.
Oh, yeah.
We'll love to do it.
she did her best.
Yes. She needs to hire an architect.
So that's the whole second floor what we're looking at here?
I guess so.
Kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom. And an area not available.
I don't know what that is. There's a wall that was put up there.
Right.
Or partition wall with the door.
Yeah.
On this drawing, where's the road? Is it down here?
Living room, dining, so it would be out here.
Be out there, and then there's stairs,
That actually, they come up and then they go up and then they come back.
and so this would be the entrance to the
Correct.
apartment. Yeah, so it's come up, and then there'd be a landing, and then you'd go in there or something?
Correct, there's I don't know, it was just done not too long
So
ago.
this is the upper floor.
Correct.
I saw that. I saw is it the steps already there?
So is the work done already?
No, she wanted to do the, she did that, I think she pulled a permit for the deck.
So she pulled a permit for the stairs, and the gentleman she had hired to do the stairs started the work on the second floor. She was informed that she didn't need a permit. She didn't know that she needed a permit to convert.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going through the process now.
Yes. I don't think the work is done. I think it was just start, I don't know. She's like, I don't know, but
She's in Buffalo.
she's gonna get Kyle. She's gonna be so sad. I'd be so sad.
And is there enough parking on the property?
I believe so.
There's? Yeah.
It's that first house, it's got that
Yeah.
barn set back and the house over.
Yeah.
I know where it is. It's got the steps going back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Set a public hearing.
Let's do it.
We have a motion to set a public hearing.
Second the motion for a public hearing for Brano.
Second.
I second it.
It'll be September 17th. 6:45?
Yeah.
Sure.
6:45.
And as you can see, this is very similar to the
To the last one.
variance we just discussed.
I don't think you'll get that much trouble on this one.
Notified of butters will be Mr. Fisher. And the restaurant across the street,
Mhm.
and maybe Bob's Trailer. I can't think of whatever property. It's anybody that she shares the property line with, or anybody that's directly across the street from her.
Yeah, Jay Simpson owns the upper part, and I think he shares a driveway with Mike, who owns the restaurant, so.
There won't be a lot of notified.
See you on the 17th.
Great, thank
All
you.
right,
Thank you.
Thanks. Moving on.
Okay, the next one is.
Okay, our next variance request is from Joseph Farkas. Would you step up, Mr. Farkas? Can you explain?
Hello, I'm Joseph Farkas from Lakeville. I'm requesting variance to build a home on a piece of property I bought for the setbacks. So when I first purchased the property, it had a monstrosity on it. It had a 2-family, 7-bedroom, 2 kitchen, 2 bathroom, but it was in such dilapidated condition, rotting. Neighbors expressed concern for safety, so I had it torn down. So as a result, I shot myself in the foot. But I am glad that I did address their safety concerns. So I would like to build a much downsized 1-family, 2-bedroom with a smaller footprint on the property. And it's going to be keeping in with the aesthetics of the building, the buildings nearby. I mean, I've been living here for years and years, and I do care about keeping it with, in line with the aesthetics. That's it.
When was the building demolished?
The building was demolished in 2018. So some of the obstacles I faced in rebuilding faster primarily was COVID from 2020 to 2023. What really got in my way of that. I also, in the interim, paid a good deal of money for a much upgraded septic system with a very, very experienced septic fella in Kingston, Bob Hagopian, so that would not be a concern. So the photos there are of the wreckage, not the wreckage, but the monstrosity that was there prior. There's a sketch of an elevation which is very similar, but not exactly the same of the front. I'm going to be putting up. The barn doors are going to be the garage doors, again, to keep the aesthetics. The delay from 2022 to now is, I was volunteering abroad as a paramedic for the last 3 years. It was strictly volunteer. I came home now to resolve this matter. I volunteer in town also as a paramedic.
The septic paperwork that we had was all done in 2020,
I believe 2020.
December 2020.
If those are blinding, because it's an awful lot of detail, there are larger drawings over here that are much easier to read. But
These are good.
I believe it was around 2020.
It's December
December 29.
2020.
Yeah.
And your survey drawings were November 2020.
Done before the septic, because septic was based on survey, and then my drawings of the setbacks that I did were based on the septic. So I traced over it and measured out.
Anybody have any questions on the period of time that the property's been vacant?
No.
No.
Strange shaped property, right? Funny shaped property.
I know, I don't know what they did back then, and I understand the concern for the lagging time. Those lagging times weren't my doing at all. And then as soon as I had the opportunity, I moved on.
Yeah.
What's your pleasure, gentlemen? It's been 7 years since.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Schedule a public hearing for it,
Yep.
and then we can hash it all out. I think so. Can I get a motion to schedule a public hearing?
Motion to schedule a public hearing for Joseph Fargus.
Get a
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
It'll be September 17th at 6:30.
September 17th, 6:30. Do you need anything for me to do now?
No.
Thank you for your help. Thanks.
See.
So is this where the house is on the road?
What?
This is where it is on the road?
Yeah.
But I don't see it there. Didn't he say this is 212 here?
Yeah.
Mike, I
This is the
think
new
you're
one.
up next.
The existing one was here. It's just the new one.
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
Aha.
Gentlemen,
Hello.
Mike Moriello, I'm here on behalf of the Leeway. We have one of the principals of the Leeway here, Leon, and I'm sorry that Alan Dumas couldn't be here. He's bringing his son up to college, and the architects were both engaged at other meetings. But be that as it may, you have a request for an interpretation in front of you, but let me just say from a procedural standpoint, I don't think we should be before this board. I brought this appeal and request for interpretation just to protect the statutory record, the 60 days, because the planning board told us to come here. I don't think they have that authority. I think we can only get here on an appellate appeal. My main point is that I think we should be sent back to the planning board, and the planning board should do its job, which is to review a special use permit, which is permitted under their zoning law, and get on with the review. They've made the review lengthy and comprehensive, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because there's neighbors that are concerned. We've done a lot of mitigation. I've also reached out to the neighbors. That hasn't worked out, but we've done the best that we can with getting a good plan, which I think really belongs back before the planning board. My other point too is that this entire exercise, which has been brought upon by the planning board, asking us to come here, telling us to come here rather, is gonna open up a can of worms all over the town, because there are numerous venues that are operating right now with what we would call events tents for events, hotels throughout the town. To my knowledge, most of them, or if not all of them, don't have a special permit. They don't have any permit. My client has gone through the process, has a lot of mitigation measures, including noise limitations, and cut the project down in size, and a lot of things that they've done that none of those other venues have done. So I believe that there's no other way to look at it than it's a selective enforcement, because my client came to the board to ask for approval and didn't do it the old-fashioned way. So my request of this board, the first request, would be to send this back to the planning board and say, we're not hearing it, we don't have the jurisdiction to hear it. My second request would be that you rule in our favor on the interpretation if that's not what you're determined to do.
Well, I've got to ask you an important question. Are you requesting from us, the Zoning Board of Appeals, Shandaken, to interpret the zoning code for a use variance subordinate to the motel operation?
No use variance, we're not asking for a use variance. What we're asking for is, number one, no decision by this board except to send it back to the planning board.
We can't.
Number two, because you don't have jurisdiction. Number two, we're asking for you to interpret the zoning law that this use is accessory to a hotel. It's an accessory use to a hotel and is permitted.
It's not a hotel, it's a motel.
You're asking
That's
that,
all right.
are you asking that today? That's what you
Yeah.
want us to rule on today?
Not today. You don't have to rule
Okay.
on it today. You don't have to rule on anything
The
today.
planning board requested that you come see us,
The planning board directed that we come here. They didn't request. They told us.
but they didn't.
No, can I just say
Please,
one
just
thing?
wait, please.
I am not going to indulge people talking when it's not a public hearing. I did that before, it didn't work out too well for me, so I'm not doing it anymore.
So only you can talk?
Yes, at a public hearing you can talk, that's how it works in New York.
All right.
All right, well,
Thank
this is,
you.
oh, wait, first, Mike, this is our meeting, not your meeting.
Jesus.
I just want you to know that. Secondly, are you requesting from the Zoning Board of Appeals an interpretation of the zoning law?
Yes, if,
You are requesting from
Yeah.
us.
yes, if you determine that you have jurisdiction. I don't think that you have jurisdiction to hear any of this, and I want the board, if it will, to send it back to the planning board. The planning board's taken the position, which is improper in my view, that they won't even review our project until we come here and get an interpretation.
Well,
They don't have that
If
authority.
you're not asking us to interpret the zoning code,
Yep.
then we can't do anything.
The only reason I came,
If the planning board hasn't requested us to interpret the zoning
Yeah.
code, we can't do anything.
yeah, the only reason
If
I'm here
The
is to
zoning
protect the
enforcement
record.
officer hasn't said you can't do what you want to do,
Correct.
and then you could come here and appeal, but that hasn't happened either.
Agreed.
So
We have nothing to do.
why don't you do an Article 78?
Because I have to-
Mandamus to the zoning enforcement officer.
Because I have to, there's a concept under the law that, it's a very, very good question, by the way. There's a concept under the law that you have to exhaust your administrative remedies before you can bring a
That's why
lawsuit.
I agree.
That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm here. It's to
Well,
exhaust
nobody's
those
requested
remedies.
us to interpret the zoning code as of yet.
That,
And if you're not requesting that of us, we have no jurisdiction to hear it.
That, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I brought this interpretation to you to preserve the record, because I didn't want the 60 days to run out, because we were stuck with a 60-day statute of limitations, and if I'm wrong, I haven't preserved my client's appeal. So that's why we're here. I think this project and matter belongs before the planning board. That's where anyone else would be if they applied here. There's been, for some reason, a move to get us to look for a use variance when we're permitted under the zoning law. There's a lot of things that happened at the last meeting with the planning board that I'm not in agreement with. And I'm certainly not hearing our cases, really.
And you're not requesting from us an interpretation.
That is correct, not unless you think you have jurisdiction. If you have jurisdiction, then I want you to rule in our favor. That's where we are.
I'd like somebody to make a motion to remand this back to the planning board for processing.
I make a motion to mandate this back to the planning board for processing.
Gotta get a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we can't request an interpretation as the neighbors then?
We can. We did. It's the neighbors that asked for relief from the DEO's obvious decision that the permit should be accepted by virtue.
I've made no such decision, I've made no such statement, and I've written no such thing on any kind of permitting process in the town of Shandaken. That is simply
But
false.
that's your job. And that's why this has gone so far.
But the process is going through its proper procedure right now. And it will, at some point, I'm sure, come before the zoning board of appeals to interpret that piece of the code about the use and being subordinate to the motel. And we realize that, but right now.
It's procedural, yeah.
It cannot be in front of us because the town board didn't request us to interpret it. The zoning enforcement officer didn't ask us to interpret it, and the planning board didn't ask us to interpret it.
Okay,
And
I don't
either
mean
did
to
the
be
applicant.
argumentative, but I've spent a lot of time in the last month reading Mr. Moriello's post with his letter to you, and it's very clear that aggrieved neighbors who are not getting relief from the ZEO enforcing the law as we see it are allowed to ask for the same interpretation that the plaintiff, the petitioner is asking for.
I think the zoning enforcement officer is doing a good job in this particular case
I'm not
because.
suggesting it's not at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying these people get to ask for an interpretation as legally as Mr. Moriello does.
Where are our rights?
You know what I mean, honestly, look into that because as you said, we'll be back here again.
Yeah, no, we realize that, and we realize the importance of the issue that you're dealing with, being neighbors to a small little, quiet little motel.
Yeah,
You know, that one, we realize all of that. And, you know, we're trying to do the best we can, and the zoning office, I think, is trying to do the best they can without making maybe decisions that would not be in your best interest. So
But it's interesting just from our point of view, the neighbor's point of view, their point of view, that these people have done engineering studies, they've spent a lot of money to get to this point.
But that doesn't mean that they're gonna.
It's only reasonable to assume that they thought it was gonna be permitted.
No, that doesn't mean that they're gonna cross the finish line.
Okay, okay.
It just means that they're doing their due diligence
Okay.
to get to the point where they're at,
Okay.
to come before the board or the planning board and go through the proper process.
And they may not come back to us if the planning board agrees that, you know, with their position, they won't come to the,
Yeah, I expect they do not expect them to come back here.
I expect them to come back here for an interpretation, that's what I see coming.
But he's saying we're not allowed to, nobody's allowed to ask for that. What his point in his legal letter was, only he can ask for that. Is that how you understand it, Grace? Didn't Mr. Moriello make the point only that the person looking for the permit can ask for an interpretation?
Well, it doesn't much matter.
Well, it kind of makes sense, right?
It doesn't much matter. Even if that was his point, though I don't know who it was, it doesn't much, it matters what application this board will accept. So the question before this board is, will this board accept an application for interpretation from abutting parcel holders, not from the parcel holder themselves?
That is
the question.
Thank you.
And I can't find anything that directs you in code that you either could or could not do that, so it's not a question that I can answer.
Okay, so we'll go back to
See,
the.
you're not an
planning board.
you're not an aggrieved party yet.
Well, not yet, but who wants to wait till we are?
No, I know, I realize that.
Yeah, okay, thank you
You know,
very
I
much.
realize that.
You're very reasonable, you have a hard job, I appreciate
You
it.
know, we've read all the documents that you've
Did
read.
you? Man,
Yes,
I-
all of them.
Oh,
There's
well,
a
what
pile
about,
of
did you
them right
read
here.
Moriello's letter, man?
I
That
got
was
all
a
of them.
mouthful.
It was. I mean, he put a lot of work into it, I gotta say, so.
Well, I'm betting ChatGPT for $100.
Yeah.
So you got my letter. I'm Jeannie
Yes.
Maloney.
We have all of the all the letters, all the documentation. We
Okay.
have the brief from your attorney, we have Mike's brief. I've been doing research on it, trying to make heads or tails of it, and
That's a
trying
good-
to find out what is the best legal way to go.
Is that a relevant question?
I don't know that it is a relevant question. It is a question that this board, the relevance of that question would be for this board to determine. Legally, it is a motel. They can call it a hotel, that's fine.
It's a motel, it's not a hotel.
I know, but what is the ramification of either name? Is there,
In this
is,
instance, I don't know that there is one.
Well,
Yes, there is. The motel has only exits to the exterior.
yes.
A hotel
You gotta go
has
to a lobby.
exits to the interior.
Yeah.
We understand the difference between the
Yeah,
two, but we
we-
don't know if it actually affects the ruling.
Legally.
Yes, but you can find case law to support accessory use
You
to
know,
a
I made-
hotel, but not to a motel.
But he keeps comparing the motel to
No, no, I know.
hotels that are much bigger and have more accommodations.
Yeah, yeah.
We're on a tiny piece of property, and all these hotels he's comparing it to are much larger.
Believe us, we understand that, and we're looking at
As a
that
matter
as
of
well.
fact-
Because
As a matter of fact, when I read it, I talked to Grace about it
Yeah.
and said that maybe our attorney should look at why they keep saying it's a hotel in their brief instead of a motel.
Yeah, because
And I
they
didn't
want
know
to compare
where-
it to
what the
these big
relevance-
things because they thought that they could compare themselves to those hotels where they are doing all these tents and everything. They're trying to make that comparison, which I said in my letter. They're comparing it to hotels when it's a motel.
Yeah.
But what about full moon? Is that considered a hotel?
Motel, the full moon is a lot of things.
I know.
Most of it predates code. I'd say the main building there is an inn lodge.
But they have outbuildings also.
It's a resort.
And it's,
And he had to buy up a lot of land in order to shut up his neighbors. You know what I mean? That was a problem for a long time, and it's not anymore, and that's a good thing. But nobody's gonna buy up these neighbors.
my porch is 25 feet away from the back of the motel. 25 feet, I measured it with my tape measure. That's where I sit, 25 feet from that. That's why I'm upset.
Looking at an 8-foot fence.
Pardon me? Yeah, the 8-foot fence that I had to come in front of you guys. And basically, when I asked them, when I said that I've been there 40 years, to Tanner, who was the young woman who was here, I said that I've been there 40 years, and she says to me, well, have you seen our parking lot? And I said, how can I see your parking lot with that fence? And then I said, I've been there 40 years, and she said, and it's my sanctuary, and she said, well, now it's time for the young people, she said to me.
What?
She said, now it's time for the young people. So in other words, you're an older person, you have no rights, we have money, we're just gonna blow you out of town. That's where I sit, and that's why I'm upset. And that's why I keep coming here, and that's why I wrote that letter.
Mr.
And we thank you for that.
Thank
Honorable
you.
Temporary Chairman, Wayne Gutman, former supervisor, been through this many times,
Can-
everybody.
Can you state your name again?
Wayne Gutman. You remember me, Henry? You're looking well, thank you.
Thank you. So
I just want to say there was a point made here tonight about things that have happened in this town in the past. God only knows, boy. We got some history book about that. But 2 wrongs don't make a right, nor do 7 wrongs make a right. There's
a lot of things that have happened in this community that people have protested over very vehemently, and somehow they slipped through. We're not sure how that happens. We own property that abuts this motel. I remember it, always been a motel. Charlie Davis was a former owner, it's always been a motel. It has no lobby, it's not a hotel, and therefore any argument to compare it to hotels that have done this wedding venue stuff is an illegitimate argument, it's wrong. They keep referring to it as a hotel for a purpose to sell their point. It's invalid, it's not true. The other thing I just want to say to you, honorable people on this board, I understand where you're at. God knows what we went through here with, the mega development case. 17 years that battle went on. This is in a floodplain. Think of the river in Texas just that got overflowed and people got killed. This is in a residential area on a very small piece of land. This venue does not belong there. It's basically a common sense decision. It really is. And you've got neighbors that are going to be impacted heavily. The property values are going to be impacted, and it's wrong. So, fine, back to the planning board. We know where a lot of those people stand on the planning board. There's been some very, very strong points made about it. And you may want to speak to planning board member, Mr. Shiner, who wrote a memo on this. A very effective and very important memo. But I can appreciate what you guys are going through. And it's good to see you all. Stay well. And God bless. Thank you very much.
You as well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for hearing us out.
Motion to close? Motion to close, Hank?
No, we have any other business?
Just a note that we'll schedule interviews for the alternates
Okay.
during the meeting next month.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten about the reading question.
All right.
And to a clarifying point here, were I you, Hank, I would sit with Olivia sometime next week and draft a letter to the planning board so they understand what this decision is, and that if they want your. And if the planning board won't move forward without your interpretation, then the steps by which they can receive that.
Then they'll have to request that from us, right, the planning board?
That's what I'm saying. Sit down with Olivia, draft a letter,
Okay.
so that it can be read during the planning board meeting.
Okay. Any other business? No? Hearing none, can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Sorry if you.
That's okay.
So,